Hey there, E3 learners. Welcome to today's explainer. I am so thrilled to be your study buddy for this interactive English reading session. Today, we aren't just reading a story, we're going to tear it apart, look at exactly how the English language works, and really bring this vocabulary to life. We are looking at a total classic fable, The Farmer and the Snake. Let's dive right in. Here is our game plan for today. We're going to cover a frozen encounter, the fatal awakening, key vocab and verbs, and finally, the golden moral. Part 1. A frozen encounter. Okay, so I want you to put on your detective hats for a second and keep an eye out for action verbs. The story starts like this. One bitter winter's day, a farmer came upon a snake lying stiff and half frozen in the snow. Notice how those highlighted verb phrases completely set the scene for us? He didn't just casually see a snake, he came upon it. Let's look a little closer at these words. A bitter winter's day isn't just chilly, It is painfully cold. And stiff and half frozen tell us this snake is, practically a popsicle. But the real star of the sentence is come upon. It's a fantastic phrasal verb. We use it when we find something by complete accident. Like you definitely don't plan to come upon a frozen snake on your morning walk. It just happens. So, what exactly does our farmer do? Well, let's read on. Moved with pity at the sight, he picked the creature up, tucked it inside his coat, and held it close to warm it back to life. Wow, what a genuinely kind, gentle guy, right? Notice the sequence of actions here. It's almost like this step-by-step recipe for kindness, all driven completely by his emotions. Let's actually break those actions down a bit. Moved with pity perfectly captures his emotional state. He wasn't just feeling sad. The emotion literally moved him to take action. And then he decides to tuck it inside, which honestly is such a vivid, cozy image. Think about tucking a child into bed with a nice warm blanket. He's actively trying to warm it back to life. These phrases really show a profound level of care. All right, time for our first role play. I want you to imagine stepping right into the farmer's snow boots for a second. You are the farmer. You just came upon a stiff, half-frozen snake. Do you leave it or do you tuck it inside your coat? And why? Just pause for a second and really think about your answer. Try to use some of our new E3 vocabulary while you're at it. Maybe you say, I would be moved with pity, so I'd try to warm it back to life. Or maybe you're thinking, no way, I am leaving that stiff snake right where I found it. Moving on to part 2, the fatal awakening. All right, the text tells us, as the snake gradually thawed in the heat of the man's body, its old strength and nature returned. You can actually kind of feel the creeping tension here, can't you? The warmth is doing its job, but it isn't just bringing the snake's physical body back. It's bringing its nature back. And honestly, that is a massive clue about what's about to happen. This part of the story brilliantly illustrates two excellent E3 verbs that might seem similar at first glance, but they have a super important difference. Thaw is what happens physically. It's like taking meat out of the freezer, right? It melts, it warms up. But revive? Now that means to return to life or consciousness. The snake doesn't just thaw out like a block of ice, it revives. It wakes up and its dangerous, wild energy wakes right up with it. Okay, time for our second role play. Let's completely switch perspectives here. You are now the revived snake. You're just waking up inside this wonderfully warm coat. Do you politely say, "Oh, thank you, kind sir," or do you follow your wicked nature? Remember, you're a snake. You operate purely on instinct. You don't understand gratitude. You only understand survival and your basic wild nature. And here is the shocking twist. Read this one with me. No sooner had it fully revived than it turned upon its rescuer and sank its fangs deep into him. Just look at how incredibly fast that happened. That phrase, no sooner had it, then tells us the attack was totally instant. Literally, the very second it woke up, it attacked. Let's unpack this awful betrayal. To turn upon someone perfectly captures that sudden, completely ungrateful attack. You're helping them, and suddenly they just turn and attack you, their rescuer. And that phrase, sink one's fangs into, wow, it is so powerful. You don't just bite, you bite deep. It really shows the brutal, unforgiving reality of the snake. Part 3. Key vocab and verbs. So, as the farmer falls, he has this sudden, tragic realization. He says, I have only myself to blame for taking pity on a wicked creature that could never change its nature. I have only myself to blame. That is such a powerful phrase in English. It means fully acknowledging your own mistake. He's not blaming the cold weather, and he isn't even really blaming the snake at this point. He is completely blaming himself. Let's do a really quick review of these 5 advanced words from his final moments. The snake's venom was fatal, meaning deadly, and as he lay there, he began to lament his folly. These are incredibly useful words to have in your tool belt. To lament is to express deep regret, and a folly is basically a foolish or silly mistake. So he is lamenting his folly of trusting a wicked or evil creature. All right, let's do our final role play of the day. You are the farmer in your final moments. If I were to ask you, what exactly was your biggest folly, what would you say? Just use the logic of the text here. The mistake wasn't being kind, right? The mistake, the real folly, was expecting a wicked creature to somehow change its fundamental nature just because you were nice to it. At the end of the day, a snake is a snake. And finally, part 4, the golden moral. You know, look at how perfectly structured Aesop's fables really are. We can actually summarize this entire story using just 3 of our core verb phrases. Step 1, the farmer is moved with pity. Step 2, the snake is warmed to life. And step 3, the farmer is turned upon. It's just a brilliant, complete story of cause and effect, and it's driven entirely by action verbs. And just like that, you've mastered an incredible group of colorful action verbs today. Come upon, moved with pity, tuck inside, thaw, revive, turn upon, and lament. Seriously, give yourself a pat on the back. By really understanding these verbs, you aren't just translating the story, you're actually feeling the action happen in real time. And all of that action leads us right here to the golden quote of the entire story. Kindness shown to the wicked is kindness thrown away. Basically, kindness given to evil people is completely wasted. Say that out loud with me and just notice the poetic rhythm. Kindness shown is kindness thrown. That little rhyme makes it catchy, memorable, and deeply impactful. To wrap things up, I want to leave you with one final deep question to think about as you continue practicing your English. How do we show kindness to others without becoming the foolish farmer? Where exactly is that boundary between being compassionate and just being a bit naive or too trusting? Keep exploring that idea, definitely keep practicing those verbs, and keep reading. Thanks so much for learning with me today, and I'll see you in the next explainer.